Okay, here we are.
All right, let's just pick up right where we're
Season
at.
4,
if we can.
episode 3. But first, do I have anything? Do I have anything in my beard? Anything
Not
in
that
there?
I can see.
Okay, because you got to check that. Have you ever had a beard, Dan? Like a beard?
Yes.
Like really?
Yeah.
And all the years I've known
No. I had a.
Yeah, like a Van
No,
Dyke
mine,
is what that's called.
it starts to get mangy out here.
Does
like,
it? A little
there's a
patchy,
spot-
does it?
Like it just
It looks like Beavis and Butthead.
just doesn't quite connect. There's
when
like
they
a.
glue pubes on for a beard, it kind of looks like that.
It's kind of like how North America connects to South America. There's like it's just
Not very good.
It's not good.
So I've seen you with the Van Dyke,
Yep.
not the goatee. That's not the goatee. Is just the beard.
Whatever.
But anyway,
I started getting some gray in it, and
Yeah.
I just shaved it
It's
off because
all-
I'm too vain for that.
Well,
I
I've
mean,
got-
I'll listen. What is vain? What's vain mean?
Vain is where you have a lot of pride. Your ego makes decisions for you based on how
I thought
you
it
look to
meant
others.
other women find you attractive.
That's not quite
That's
what
not
vain
what
is,
vain means.
Mr. English teacher.
All right, whatever.
All right. Well, I just wanted to, when you get a beard, this is big for me. I know there's a lot of dudes out there with the long, you get shit caught in it and you don't even,
I'm surprised you like having a beard.
I'm
Do you like the
I'm
way it
getting a little
looks, or
tired
you
of it.
like the way it feels?
I'm starting to get tired of it. But I got to tell you that the wife, she kind of digs it.
All right.
But
Your
but
son's in the room.
I don't think she digs it when I have a bratwurst and 6 hours later I have a big streak of mustard right
I
here.
like the way he says bratwurst.
Bratwurst. I like bratwurst. So,
Well, I needed this because I've been kind of sad. I've been puppy sick.
Puppy
We had a
sick,
puppy over
yeah.
at our house, little Sonny, for a week. Yeah. And you showed up that day. I was bitching about him.
I know
remember?
you were. I'm surprised that you're missing this dog,
Oh,
man.
you know how it is. But he was a big pain in the butt,
Yeah,
you know.
puppies are.
In a week, he was potty trained. Huge transformation. I
Yeah.
think that was being around the older
Yeah.
dogs. But
People make a big deal out of that, like housebreaking a dog is like a huge thing, and it's really not. I mean, I've had several dogs, and I think it's taken about a week or two if you do it right.
yeah.
And then I know people that are like, with dogs that are 3 or 4 years old that still have accidents, and I just don't understand that. Why? I mean, unless the dog is like
Well, Joel,
really dumb.
different dogs are different,
Really?
you know?
Well, I've got a pretty
You
dumb
can't
dog.
you come from alternative education. I can't believe what I'm hearing
That
here.
has nothing to do with intelligence.
That dog may need some special accommodations.
That alternative ed's got nothing to do with intelligence. It's all about the past experiences. And I mean, we have one of the dumbest dogs in the state of Iowa that's living here, and he goes to the bathroom outside 3 times a day. I mean, he never has an accident except for when he was
well,
sick a year
once
ago.
they get it, they get it.
Yeah.
I think
because they
but-
want to please. Dogs want to
Yeah.
please, man.
It's that, or they some people move toward pleasure, some people move away from pain. It depends on the dog, Joel.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, I got you. So
You know who did not have patience for the puppy at all was Joy, which is very surprising.
Your sweet golden retriever.
Precious little Joy.
I love Joy. Joy's
I'll tell
awesome.
you what, she bit the puppy.
I don't believe it.
Well, hard enough that the puppy went over to the sliding glass door, looked around, and then went, rah, rah, like it was a delayed.
Oh, really? A fake
but-
cry.
And then Sarah went over and checked, and it yelped for a second. But I think what happened was she had a bone. Some genius thought, oh, let's give them all a bone. And they'll all have their own bones, and
No,
everything will work
That's not
great.
the way it works.
Okay. And the puppy came walking by because the puppy will take his bone for about 2 seconds.
Right.
That was fun.
Right.
What do you got? What do you got? And Joy let him have it. And he tried to run away. And as she let him have it, her bone fell out and like rolled towards the way he was running. And I don't know. But it got me thinking, I kind of understand a sensitive, sweet dog got a bone, and what that dog will do when
Brought the animal out of her.
well, it just
But Dan, what it is, buddy, what it is for in the dog world. Uh-oh. What does that sound mean, sound technician Cade?
It's all good. I muted notifications on here, and then it didn't.
Oh,
Okay, so we're good. Well, what that dog, your example of the dogs and their bone, and and even the sweet dogs are, the dog world is all about survival, and it's not unlike a show out there called Alone that one of
Right.
our listeners enjoys. Now, I don't know. I've told you a little bit about the show Alone, and that's a survival show, reality show, where the winner gets $500,000, but they drop 10 contestants out and they isolate them.
yeah.
They give them a list of things that they can have. They have a list of things they can choose 10 of them, and then they're isolated and they have to figure out a way to survive. And I mean, I have not seen the show. Okay, go ahead.
I wasn't done
You
about
need a
the
30-second
dog.
timeout?
I wasn't done. I just want to make one connection with the
Okay.
dog, that bone thing.
Okay, we'll go
Okay.
back to that. Yep.
I think that is because that dog has nothing. Like, you finally gave it a bone. That dog is like, this is my fucking bone.
I finally have something in this
Yes.
world. And
Like-
not only am I going to keep mine, I'm going to take yours.
A couple
bitch.
of times a day, if they remember, they give me this cup full of hard food when they are eating steaks.
I think you have the wrong.
Like,
you have
you
the,
think your dog is just, everybody thinks their dog just loves them. Maybe they're
Dude.
just like,
I'm
"Let
telling
me-"
you what. I'm telling you
know.
what. If you took Paco and somehow could communicate with him in dog language and said, "Buddy, you're free to go. I'll open the door. You can go. You're no longer
Go,
you're no
"Hey,
longer
hey, can you
a prisoner here.
just
in this
leave the
house."
door unlocked, okay?
I guarantee you, he would not go. Dogs are. They just love, man. They're just super appreciative.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right
Till
about
you
the
fuck
bone.
with
They
their
don't
bone.
have possessions, so when they get a possession, they're
No
like, "Oh."
possessions,
What's that?
no religion.
Right.
Well, to me, that
Sweat my
is,
ass off.
I think we could identify with that when you see a soldier get super pissed off if they there's videos out there of catching stolen valor.
Right.
You've heard of that, right?
I have.
And because that's his bone, you know what I mean?
Tried the ceiling fan. Looks like it might come down, Dan. I got a job for you when
That
you're done
sound
with
is
this podcast.
bringing, it's triggering bad memories from my childhood.
Look it
Sorry, Dad.
up. Look it up from your.
Actually, what am I thinking?
Look it up from
Dad.
your crib. Oh yeah, that thing's coming down. Anyway, so go again.
But if you look at it that way, and the same thing, look at anything where people get upset,
sure.
kneeling during the flag or not kneeling or just, all that
right.
stuff. They're
Right.
usually in some form or fashion, they feel like that bone or one of their things is threatened,
Yep. Yep.
And that's my message for the day.
That's your message for the day?
I don't know.
You don't want to carry it any further?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Is that a new shirt?
Yeah, Samantha got me this shirt.
Seize the day. Seize
Seize
is
the
spelled
day.
incorrectly, but
That's why I wore it, because school starts. Guess what? Well, for me, I have to be there a week from today.
nope, a week
No,
from
tomorrow.
yesterday.
Yeah, I thought today was Tuesday. I knew it was Tuesday.
I just saw Jay Harvey at Copper Creek. Jay Harvey,
knew.
teacher at Southeast Polk and friend. And I asked him, I said, "Yeah, so you ready to go back next week?" And he said, "Hey, yeah." And I was like, "You think Dan knows when he has to go back?" And he's like, "Nope." And he was right.
Well, he wasn't right, because I knew when I had to be back.
just
I
didn't know
just
what
didn't
today
know what
was.
today was. So that's a different question.
Steve Pettit, Dan will be there when he's there. I
I'll
just
be
want
there.
you to know that. Principal Steve Pettit, he'll be there
Hey,
when he's
whoa,
there.
whoa.
And when he's there, when the kids are there, he'll be ready. Right, Dan?
Let's not encourage this stuff. Let's go. Move it on, bud. Let's talk about the
Anyway, okay, so the
show.
Shirt, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Samantha got me this.
Oh, that was nice.
And Seize the Day,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I
English. I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to get after
I
it.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then back to that show.
Read it again. I've never watched one
I've
episode.
never watched it, but I did.
Probably most people, or
It's been
other
on for
people may
7
not
years.
have. Okay, well, not everybody watches TV. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying that it's been on for 7 years. People have seen it. I have not. But I look at you as a survivor. Now, I don't know exactly what it takes to survive. They drop these people off in the wilderness, and they're basically just getting checked on by medical professionals occasionally, but otherwise they are completely isolated in the fall, and they have to prepare for winter.
Okay, so 7 years. I'm assuming there's variables in the conditions. Like
Sure.
this season, it's in a jungle. This season, it's in a.
Yeah, I don't know that for sure, but go ahead with that.
Well, my point with that is, and this is where my premise of my answer, if you will, right? I know that they get to make a list of 10 things to bring.
Right.
I doubt, and I've never watched one episode, so these are just my theories.
Right.
It may be different, but for me, looking at it, if you have the time to make that list and think it through, it's really not, probably someone's not winning or losing because of something on their list.
They're not coming up with anything original. Well, they have a list of things they could pick from. So you're saying that is probably...
Oh, they don't just say, here's my 10 things or whatever?
Based on what I read, I think the list, here's 40 things, you pick 10.
Yeah, so my
then
point
they give them
is...
some extras to everybody, the same stuff.
Yeah, I don't think...
You don't think that's the biggest
Well,
factor?
how else does it work? They just go until someone quits, right?
Until they tap
Can
out.
you read the description?
Yeah, they have to tap out.
Okay.
So, but, the question is...
Tap out.
Tap
See?
out, yeah. You know all
There's
about that.
elements to this show, I think, and that's probably why it's been around this long.
Sure.
Because it's not just about skill. If it was just about skill, it would be boring. I watched the everybody's been waiting for this jiu-jitsu championship match.
Right.
Well, it wasn't a championship, but it was this big match, and it was Sunday night.
Okay.
And it didn't even come on until like 11:30, and it was a no time limit match. And these are the two of the best dudes.
Okay.
And it went on for like 45 minutes. And I like jiu-jitsu, and I was like, just hurt.
Were they
like,
even doing any jiu-jitsu
well,
by
they're
the end?
so good. They were.
Okay.
You're like, I really did like it. But my point is, if it's just that, and someone has to tap, which I assume means a verbal tap, I quit.
Yeah, I'm done.
Right?
Can't do it anymore.
I mean, is there like they have to actually go like this?
Right.
Well, either way, that's the element that I'm bringing to the table. Is just, I think there's an element to it that is how much suffering can you take.
Well, that's honestly what I thought of, is that I think you could probably tolerate more than the average person.
And my
definitely.
question before about like the climate situation,
Right.
there's going to be certain, like probably I could pick maybe a certain show or this element from this season and this, and you could put them together where I'd have a really good shot.
Okay.
I mean, I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I just think there's an element of figuring stuff out, problem solving,
Right.
Prioritizing, like thinking long term,
Right.
and I just think people will get, because they have that one skill and they get focused on this, nice little shelter and don't think about these other things,
Which you would think about.
I don't know.
Are you tapping out, Dan?
I'm not, I mean.
Are you tapping out?
That's
Answer
the
the
thing.
question. Are you tapping out?
Well, I will, yeah, at some point.
Really?
Maybe.
I mean, I've never heard you say that. I don't know how to respond
I
to
tap all the time.
Oh.
I mean, I tap all the time. Tonight I'm going to go. There's going to be somebody there will tap me. That's the whole deal.
that. Okay.
I know what that and I also know that there's been plenty of times where I know I can just outlast and outsuffer, and
There you go.
maybe it's just to advance position
Yeah.
or whatever, but
I believe you would. I believe you would do well.
Someone's will is something so hard to measure in most of life. Someone's true, like,
Sure.
and in jiu-jitsu, it's there all the time, you know.
Well, I can safely say that I would tap out probably first. And I just want everybody to understand I have no illusions that I would survive
Yeah.
if I was out there because I would need like a recliner to be on the list and
I mean, I don't know. I shower three
and
times a
it's football
day.
season coming up. I couldn't miss that. I'd have to have a TV. Showers. Oh my God. I mean, I know you can survive days and days without showers. I certainly can't. I cannot. I have to be clean. I cannot stand to feel dirty.
I think I'd have the best shot in some place that's just really hot. Like just
Like right
super,
now in this
super
room.
hot.
Are you as hot as I am?
I don't think it's hot in here
Jesus,
at all.
Maybe do I have a lupus fever right now? I might, dude. It's the way it works. I just suddenly get hot. you know?
Really?
Yeah. So I'm sweating my
And
nuts
your
off
face
right
is
now.
turning kind of red.
All right. Well, I'll survive.
Um,
All right. Well, would you bring those items with you to? As I said, you see that segue that I just did?
it's probably not on their list.
Okay.
But I'll tell you
Segue,
what,
not this
it
kind
would
of
be
segue.
on mine.
All right.
My point was, though, I can take some heat.
I know.
You know.
I can't.
So these things are awesome.
Okay. I've
They're-
seen them, but I just
And you probably have too. You know, they come with like 3 of these things. You slide them in. It gets rid of the mosquitoes. Inside here is a butane cartridge.
Okay.
That has butane in it, right? And you click it on, you can hear it hissing.
I can't hear
and
it,
then
but
you,
go ahead.
And then you click it a few times, and then this light comes on, and it starts to heat up this pad, and it really gets rid of the mosquitoes.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
But what happens is you forget, you leave it on, it runs through the butane, you end up with a lot more pads
Sure.
than you have butane.
Because they don't give you like extra butane when you buy these things. You have to buy
Well, I mean,
you have to buy accessories and shit.
you just end up
That's
with
how they get
empty
you.
ones.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, and I got a video I can send anyone if they're interested.
So
I'm
you
sure the
refill
link-
those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just found it on YouTube. It's not
Okay.
like there again. It's
How much
not
money are
me.
you saving doing that, do you think?
I don't know. Quite a bit.
Is it kind of like making your own weights and lures and shit instead of
Yeah.
buying them?
Yep.
So the saving is marginal, but the satisfaction is like can't be measured.
Well, it's not marginal on my spoon sinkers, bud.
Okay.
I
I
get
don't
a
know what
whole
those are, but I'll believe you.
bucket full of tire weights free from
Okay.
any shop, which
Did you just go there and ask him for those?
Yep. They go like this. You want the bucket? You can have it. I've got my own bucket. Well, why don't you just leave me yours? Like, you know.
Just trade buckets.
And then I just have a cast iron skillet, your Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
You got to watch the wind. Like, I don't this.
Can
I
you
think it's probably done some damage.
could
to
you
me.
forge like
You don't
a
wanna
sword out of
breathe
it? And
No, it's lead.
you don't make swords out of lead. I don't know.
No, it's
Steel?
super
You make
soft.
them out of Valerian steel. Is what I learned.
I throw all those things in there, right? There's metal clips
Okay.
actually holding the lead. So
Sure.
as it starts to melt, the lead turns into liquid right away because it's soft.
Okay.
And I just scrape all that other stuff out of the way until I can get a spoon of
Okay.
the liquid.
Okay.
And you literally hold it like 1, 2, 3, and you can tap it right off of the spoon
Okay.
onto a cookie sheet that you don't use again. Like
No.
you take that cookie
Don't make
sheet,
cookies out of that.
you put that over here by the thing that you use to clean fish on.
Yeah, right. That's where I
over-
keep mine.
That's probably
Right.
not a good idea either, actually.
Did
so
you? Yeah. So
then afterwards, I take a drill when I'll just do a bunch of them
Yeah.
and just just drill the
Run
hole
one right
for
after the other.
for the line to go through.
right.
So they,
Okay.
those save me a lot.
You're sticking to the man when you do that stuff.
Those are probably no, the guy at the bait shop really.
He's not the man.
Well, he's a nice man.
All right.
There's just there's a quality I've noticed amongst bait shop owners. They just kind of are the guys that you picture on an old ship on the sea. The way the crust.
Ship captain?
Yeah, I think, is that where Krusty, comes
Yeah,
from? Just
right,
kind of.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think they're that way?
Because I ask a lot of questions.
You know why I think it is? Because they got into that business because they love fishing and they're probably really good at it. But guess who they get to deal with every day? A
Guys.
bunch of dipshits that
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing, and it's completely disillusioned them. They've gotten into this business. I love to fish, and then 90% of the people come in don't know what they're doing at all, and they do.
Yeah,
just
that's true.
Kills their will. It kills
Once
their
they
spirit.
know what they're doing, they're probably making their own shit and catching their own bait and storing
They
it
don't
in their
need
badass
your
bait tank.
your
and
freezer,
no, I'm just kidding. I
modified
try to
freezer.
support my local bait shop
yeah,
as much
right,
as
right,
I can.
Is that why
There's
you have
things
a-
that they sell.
Is
They,
that why you bought a freezer and modified it and holds little tiny fish in it that you use for bait?
I buy my slip bobbers there. They're
I don't know what
huge.
that is either. Slip
All right,
bobber.
let's move on.
All right.
What were we talking about?
Well, I just had you mention that because I know that's
Yeah.
something kind of cool.
Well, I just think that if, you were involved in some outdoor hobby,
right.
mosquitoes are a factor.
Oh, yeah.
right? And they're just, in my place now, it's over. This is just for the sandbar.
Sure. Right. Oh, 'cause
I got
you-
that gas-powered blower.
That looks
and
like a
it's-
Ghostbusters,
It's
like-
done. I mean,
It looks like a Ghostbusters protoplasm pack that they use to suck up and that's what you use to kill mosquitoes at your house.
Yep. It looks just like the Ghostbusters thing. And it shoots that like just a mist way up, and you can see the leaves and the trees are going. I mean, it's spraying it everywhere.
That's awesome.
And that's where they try to hide.
That's awesome.
And guess what? Right now, it's been so dry.
They're not
mosquitoes
many
are-
around anyway.
Not really.
Yeah.
And so guess what? I'm gonna spray again.
Really?
Yeah, while
Just
they're
'cause you
down.
can.
While they're down is when we crush. we
Make
crush.
a tap out.
And that is what I bring to the game.
I got you.
That's what I asked. Is it like Hunger Games? Are we taking other people out, or are you
God.
just trying to?
That would
hang?
change it, wouldn't
That
it?
changes everything.
Because one of your 10
I'm
items
not
is gonna,
saying it helps me.
It's gonna
it
be a
depends.
bow.
You know they're gonna have like Navy SEALs and stuff out there.
Right. That's pretty fun.
That's
Well,
right. I'd be like the dude in Hunger Games who just camos himself
Yeah.
out and hides.
Just
wait.
outlasts them.
And just wait.
That show's been on 7 years, so it must be a good show. I mean, if a show's on that long,
I
People
just
watch it.
They will, and it's just for me. It's hard for me to watch those shows, man. It
Those
really
survival
is.
shows?
Yeah, I went through a window where I found them really interesting,
okay.
and then
How many times during the show do you say that's fucking bullshit? I mean, I can see you saying that like a dozen times,
not
or
not because of
or calling somebody a pussy.
no,
or
it's more just the making it a show is a lot of it that really turns me off.
make
you
shows
know?
about everything, man.
I know.
Yeah, they got F Boy
in
Island out
doing
there.
that,
I mean, they'll
it-
make a show about everything.
Yeah.
So, but 7 years is a long time. I mean, if a show's on a long time, it's got to be good.
No,
It doesn't
I
have to be
don't
good?
agree with that. There's a lot of shows out there that suck.
Okay.
I think that's a question we should ask, throw it out there for other people. Like,
Okay.
what is that ingredients? Because I feel like Breaking Bad is the anomaly, usually.
Six seasons over like 10 years.
And
I
maybe
think.
it's because everything's been worn out, but then you start getting like Yellowstone. I mean, it was really cool at first, right? And then
Well, I didn't
by
think so, but
you just so
But
many things
people love that
start
show.
happening
Right.
where I don't even want to say it's suspension of disbelief because I loved Game of Thrones to the end.
sure.
To the end,
Right.
and that has dragons in it.
And dragons
But
don't-
it's like they
far
start
as I
getting
know,
these
don't exist.
plots, and it's just suck. A lot of it feels like gut punches to me too.
Right.
But that's probably my own demons.
Yeah,
But
Right.
it's got to be some just things in it that used to be. I don't know.
Well, there's got to be a.
They're killing dogs, Joel. They're killing fucking dogs out there. All right.
There's got to be a story arc, and that's what like when I think of like The Walking Dead, for example, that's been on for like how many years? 10, 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we started watching it. We liked it at first, and then
So did
by
I.
like the third season, we're like, okay, what are they doing here?
Exactly.
They're not gaining any ground. There's no arc to the story. There's no beginning and end. They're just doing the same shit over and over and over. Whereas Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, even though Game of Thrones is fantasy, it had a story arc. And
Yeah.
you could kind of see it going up and you can see it going down. And that's when shows are compelling.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective.
Yeah, you feel like you're with it,
Right.
initially.
Yep.
And then you realize, okay, we're doing what we just did, but now it's going to be with these different things.
Right.
And
like,
but I never felt like that with Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad.
no, right.
Maybe that's because I identified with some element
have to
of it more,
identify
and my bias
Right.
took me in that direction.
But a good example would be Better Call Saul, which we both agree is a great show. I would put it in my top 5 all time. You might not, but you like the show. One more episode left. Okay, now you saw the last episode, the most recent one.
No.
Oh shit! I don't want to spoil it. Okay. Anyway,
Well,
I'm not going to spoil it for you, but
What about them?
with
I mean,
one episode, yeah. Well, who cares? Now,
I don't care. You won't spoil it for me because I
with
won't
one
remember.
episode left, there's discussion now about how's it going to go. Where's Saul gonna go? How's he gonna end up? And there's like different options, and that's what a show is good when you can have that discussion with people about, okay, is Saul gonna get busted? Where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go to Albuquerque? Is he gonna go to Florida? Where is he gonna go back to Cicero, where he's from, and where he started as Slip and Jimmy? And now that's
You
why
mean
the
like
show,
other people, the fans are talking about that?
yeah, there's discussions about that. Yeah.
I thought at first you meant like the directors are they're
Well,
trying to decide,
Well,
or
they
do you
did
think
too, actually, because there's I've read a couple articles where initially in Breaking Bad, Jesse was going to die early on, but the audience loved Jesse, so we'll scratch that. We're not going to kill him off, and we're going to keep him on the show. Better Call Saul. There was some discussion about whether Kim was going to survive, but again, so that that's a little different. Vince Gilligan, the creator of the Breaking Bad universe or whatever, he didn't know exactly where this was going to end up. I mean, he knew where Walt was going to end up probably, but all these other little story arcs, he didn't know, and so they just kind of waited. And that's where I think it's kind of cool too, when he's telling a story in real time, basically, So, but Breaking Bad is the greatest TV show ever made. Greatest TV show ever will be made, and I'll fight anybody that wants to argue that.
Well, that's because that's your bone. You identify with Walt. You see what I'm saying? Like
Walt, yeah.
Like that's.
You know
some
why?
people probably think it sucked, dude.
There are people out there that ended up hating Walt. I didn't hate him.
Bet.
I didn't hate him. I understood him.
All right.
I didn't like everything he did.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah? Well,
yeah.
maybe
I'd
we
have
should do a
to
Breaking
go
Bad.
through all the things that went on there. But I've watched that the whole season.
I just
probably
rewatched
three
it.
times. I think
I've watched it 3 times.
Yeah,
I just
3
finished
times.
it again, like in the spring, I think.
Saying that out loud.
Yeah, but you're
okay.
doing like a million things while you watch. You're not just sitting there watching.
Yeah, or driving. Remember?
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh yeah. Well, the kids in the back were watching it.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I got my show watching is going to end because in 2 weeks football begins. Now you know that you're a big football fan.
You know I'm not. I mean, it
You know
sounds
a
like
lot
I'm
about it.
against football when I say I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that. I mean,
Well, you know a lot about it. You used to coach it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know a lot about it.
I just don't watch, I'm not even watching TV anymore, but I've weaned down to, I'm down to some really stupid 30-minute shows.
Right.
you
Letterkenny.
know. Yep.
Shorzy. Are you watching Shorzy?
not yet.
I've watched a few of those. Those are
But I mean, that's a little, some of that other, but anyway,
well, football.
I don't watch football.
Okay.
I know about football.
Yeah. You're a big Hawkeye fan, right? So
No, I mean, Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
them to win.
What do you think they're going to do about their? I mean, I have concerns as a fan. What are they going to do about their defense, man? I mean, what do you think they're going to do?
It's going to be determined by whether or not the defense can contain this year.
Contain.
Bottom line, they've got to contain, they've got to
Okay.
control,
Okay.
they've got to keep the ball moving backwards.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
what they need to do.
Okay.
Hold the line.
That's
They
good
have to hold the line.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You know,
Well, I'll call Phil Parker. Actually, the defense is going to be fucking lights out. They're going to be great. The offense is what's. I thought I'd trap you there, Dan. I thought you would be like,
No.
yeah.
you
I
can
agree.
say the
defense
same
is gonna
shit
be-
and fit right in. You know,
I am looking forward to the season, and I have no expectations whatsoever about how they're going to do. I just hope they play well, and I'm going to enjoy every game, and I'm going to watch them with friends, and that's what it's all about. And once you start expecting the team to do well, that's when you're not having fun, Dan.
that's right.
I just want you to know that.
That's right. And remember, you can't control any of it.
No, you have no control. You're not a
None.
stakeholder.
Literally at the
You
mercy
have
of whatever
nothing to do
happens.
with the success of the Iowa Hawkeyes. You're just a fan.
And you have that emotional investment in that.
Do I get upset when they lose? Yeah, a little bit. You know, you get over it, move on. Realize there's worse things out there.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I've got some
Okay.
questions for you, Dan.
What do you got?
Okay.
Now that we know I know nothing about football. Or no, I do.
Well, I might skip over one of these because, okay, if you could play, if you ever played tennis, you ever played any tennis at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little
if,
bit.
If you played 3 sets against a professional tennis player, how many games would you win in 3 sets? Do you think you'd win a game?
No,
Do you think you'd win any points?
probably by them just getting bored and effing around, and then I
You think
get
that's what it would
one.
be?
Yeah, I mean, going against a professional tennis player, and I played tennis a few times. Yeah, I
So
think I
that's
would
your line.
lose.
If they're a professional, then you're
I
probably
just,
not going
I
to do
think
well.
if you do something all the time, you'll get better at it.
Okay.
And
Okay. So they're a professional for a reason.
they're a
Okay.
professional tennis player.
Okay. At your peak, how far could you throw a football? So, like, go back to whatever, teenage years, 20, whatever.
I could whiz a Nerf football.
Oh, Nerf football.
Pretty far.
Okay.
A regular football, I don't know. Not
High-
very far. I mean, when we say peak,
Yeah.
which sounds kind of like,
You're-
what do you mean? Like
Well,
physicality?
when you're an athlete, you were throwing.
I mean, I reached my peak around.
Because if you tried to throw a football as far as you could
I
right
would
now,
say-
your arm would fall off. 'cause
I'd
you
say I
haven't been throwing.
reached my peak between 30 and 35.
Okay. Okay.
And probably nowhere, no 10-year window in there close did I, like, if I would have just took a football and throw it to me, it hurts my shoulder.
Sure,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So I don't know. But I was never
Have you ever seen me throw a
could
football?
throw something the football very far.
Have you ever seen me throw a football?
You can launch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can throw it, but I mean, there was never any. Maybe Dan should look at quarterback. No,
No? Okay.
I was just too small. Like,
Yeah.
I had little.
You're smaller in high school than you are now?
Yeah, like I didn't have the muscle development.
Sure.
That really started more in college,
Okay.
late college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you believe that if I told you that I could throw a football 80 yards?
Yes. Well, is it a Nerf?
A regular football?
I would believe that you could at one point in your life.
Okay. Okay. That's great that you said that, but I'm messing around. No human being is going to throw a football 80 yards.
Oh.
And if they say they can, they're lying. They're
I
just
was
a
sitting here
liar.
debating on telling you the truth. Like, Joel, if you try right now, you're
even
going to
even
F
like,
up.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, really?
He might be able to throw 75, but 80 is, you're lying if you say you throw it 80 yards. But anyway, okay, so, okay, here's a good question. All right, now, another football question, sorry, but, okay, so if you were a running back for an NFL team and you're running behind an NFL offensive line, let's pick one of the best lines in football right now, which is Philadelphia or, San Francisco's pretty good.
All right.
Buffalo. How many yards would you average if you had, let's say, 10 carries behind that line? How many yards would you average per carry?
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How good are the receivers on this team? Do they have to respect our pass
Oh,
game?
yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to respect the pass.
I need
It's
it
not-
strong, Joel.
And it's not like we're going to give you the ball 10 times in a row where the defense knows you're coming. So you're a running back and you're on an offensive,
All right.
an NFL team, and you're gonna get 10 carries in a game, but not in a row.
Okay.
And they're gonna be throwing the ball, and it's a good offense and a good offensive line. How many yards would you average?
Question.
Okay.
It's not done and probably for a reason, but if we could, would I be allowed to, when there's like a little scrum here and they're blocking, typically they're trying to make a hole.
Sure. Right.
Right?
Right.
What if they were making a step, and we change a little dynamic to this whole little
And
thing
you're talking
we
about
call
like
football?
launching yourself,
Just, different angles. I have different ways of getting
kind of like
through.
how Jim Carrey dunked in the Cable Guy.
And can we change the whole rule about what makes you down? Can I get under
And like tunnel.
and crawl through some legs, do a little shrimp through with the ball, do some shoulder walks
yeah, you'd be
through,
pretty much down at that point.
knee him right in the nuts as I back turn up.
That would be a penalty.
All right. Probably not many
Okay,
yards.
probably not many. You think you could gain a yard per carry?
Well, all I got to do is just run through just follow these guys in front of
follow
me
'em, right?
until it just kind of
And a good
everybody's falling
a
on
good
top
NFL
of
running
me.
back averages 4.5 yards. So
Yeah,
a 1
and
yard.
I would think if you're padded up,
Yeah.
and they don't have that much time to gain that inertia.
Right.
You're sliding into this little. How hard can it be?
Injury during these 10 carries?
Well, we're going to assume that he would not be injured.
I'm
because
not getting injured.
That would be my guess on the first play.
Maybe
he'd
an
be injured.
ankle, like when they all fall all over you. But I'm gonna PLF into that shit.
6'3", 200.
That's a parachute landing fall. You gotta know how to fall. See,
That's the key.
those
Gabe. You
guys
gotta know how to fall.
when all that you see their ankles snapping and everything, that's because they're trying really hard at the time. They're like pushing, and I'm gonna be like hunkered down, like, okay,
gonna be
let's
this high
go,
off the ground.
let's
He's gonna
go.
be like-
And as soon as they're like coming in, I'm like, whoop, roll up.
He's going to be screaming as he runs.
No, I'm just gonna turtle. I'm gonna turtle, right? I'm gonna create this frame.
I love it.
Inside of it's the
love it.
football. Come and
love it.
take it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I think I could just get.
A yard.
We ran it until we didn't get 4 yards. All right, you're
Okay.
gonna stop it or you're not.
All right.
I'm coming at you. I'm
Okay,
coming at
okay.
you. Then we did a little play action here. Boom, we hit our tight end. It was great.
Here's another question that's not on the list, but it just made me wonder. How many yards, same scenario, would a professional running back, a better than average running back, get in 10 carries if I was one of the guards in front of him? How many yards per carry?
Can he throw the ball too?
The answer is 0 because as soon as the ball is snapped,
Are they calling
both
chop
of my
blocks?
Achilles tendons would snap as soon as I made contact with the guy across from me.
You got one shot at a chop block as you go down.
Oh,
Just
I'd be a chopping mofo.
take
trust
out the
me.
leg.
I'd be going for ankles because that's
sweep the leg.
all right. The fourth question, and you're a former basketball player. You played in high school. How many points, if you played in an NBA game, how many points would you score? You're a starter. You play 32, 35 minutes out of 48. How many points would you score?
Well, again, it's kind of like the tennis question. It's like if I'm out there going with, I might get lucky and get because they stopped guarding me for a long time, and someone throws it to me, and I happen to make it because I was never really good at shooting.
Right.
I wasn't.
You're more of a defensive guy.
I was a
Okay.
defensive guy.
Would you get a steal as a defensive guy in an NBA game?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's that thing again. Like, how much skill do you have to be tenacious to go get a ball?
you're right.
Look
You're
at
right.
Rodman.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
if you're just picking people out in a lineup, you don't know anything about them.
Sure.
He was just a scrapper.
Yep. Okay. But the only way you score, in your opinion, is if they kind of forgot about you and maybe the
Yeah,
ball
I
went
don't
to
think
you.
I'm going up over someone.
Okay, but you might get lucky
know.
if they forget if they're
I
not
mean-
respecting you.
Hey,
Okay.
the Harlem Globetrotters. I don't think I've ever told you this story.
Okay.
This is true. This one, I was a teacher in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
There was some deal where the teachers got to be the stooges for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh yeah.
I had never been to a Harlem Globetrotter. No one really gave me the, hey, we're not supposed to try and play here.
Right.
And so I'm like, let's go.
It's kind of like in Rocky when he's fighting the Hulk Hogan and Hulk takes it all serious and he's supposed to just be, you know.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. You never get my references.
Well,
he doesn't think it's a damn show. He thinks it's a damn fight. Pretty sure that's what he said.
yeah.
Throw the damn towel. That's my favorite line of that movie. Anyway. All right. So, okay. Last question. And we've already touched on this, but in your prime, which may be right now, as far as jiu-jitsu,
That depends. That.
your skills are better, but
What's
physical.
what's the prime?
I
Like,
don't know.
how do you look at that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think in
I
jiu-jitsu,
can tell you, if you look at physical prime and what we say, let's say
Sure.
35,
Okay.
51-year-old Dan, we transport those two and say, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get on."
All right. Okay, well, I think it's like anything. It's like anything. As you get older, you know more, but your skills are diminished because you're older. So let's just say right now, if you were in the ring with Ronda Rousey,
Oh God.
what would happen? Could you beat her?
Well, first of all, Joel, it's awkward and uncomfortable to even talk about, I think.
Why?
Because she's a female. I don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of guys have had this conversation secretly amongst themselves. I know that my gym buddies have. But the thing about jiu-jitsu, and that's Ronda Rousey's thing, is it's, like I said earlier, it's pure truth.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't matter what you drove in, sitting out in the parking lot, what you do, none of that matters.
Okay.
It is jiu-jitsu, and it's real. Like,
It's a real thing.
if this person who is a black belt and they're real, and they go against this person who is a purple belt,
But you're friends with a black belt. Are you saying you can't beat Nate ever?
yeah, I don't even want to go down that.
Okay,
no,
but-
it's
all
not.
right, so-
That's not even the same thing.
So are
But my point with
Okay.
that is Ronda Rousey is the real deal with jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I think if we're just doing jiu-jitsu, she's gonna catch me more times than
Okay.
I'll probably catch her.
well, if you're just in a fight where anything goes in the ring,
What's she do for a living?
she's a professional fighter.
And what do I do?
You're a teacher.
Okay.
Okay. She weighs 135. Dan, what do you weigh?
Well,
175, 180.
yeah, about that right
So you
now.
get about 40, 45 pounds on her.
Yeah,
You don't think that's a big advantage?
it is. It's pretty huge.
Okay.
There's a system in jiu-jitsu. It's called the Boyd belt system. It's from the Gracies, and it's a way of looking at the belt. So if you're a purple belt and then there's another purple belt, but one of them weighs, it's like every 20 pounds was a belt level.
Sure.
Every 10 years younger was a belt level.
Okay.
You know, a way of putting it in perspective. So yeah, there's some of that. I would have some weight on my side. I'm not going to presume to say I would beat Ronda Rousey, and I think it's a lot of men, and I'm not going to say I don't, have this thing in the back of our minds that no matter what, we wouldn't lose to a girl. You
There
know,
is that.
and I have that, dude. Like, I got pushed down by a girl once when I was young. It was fucking embarrassing right in front of everybody. I didn't do anything but cry. And I've been slapped by a girl. I mean, I deserved
lit you
it.
up?
I deserved it.
Okay.
but let's call it what it is. It's assault. But I deserved it, Sarah. You know? I mean, I'm just kidding. But
Okay.
I think a lot of guys just think I'm going to be stronger
Yeah.
because I'm a man. I'm just not going to lose.
Right.
And, you know, that kind of hubris doesn't
kinda-
change reality. You know?
I just look at it like she's about my daughter's age or my daughter's size. You know, Quinn.
Yeah.
And I'm more than twice her size.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm fat, but come on.
Well, what are you going to do with it, though?
I don't know. Smother her with it? I don't
You
know.
won't be able to stay on top of her with her jiu-jitsu, dude. She'll be out from underneath
Damn
of
it, I
you,
was just-
around, behind you. She's choking. What am I? Don't know what to do with my hand.
I've just been trying to get you to
And
say
then you
can
wake
beat her,
up
but
and
you
they're all
won't do
taking
it.
a picture.
I just been trying to get you to say you could beat her, but you won't do it. I know I couldn't beat Ronda Rousey. She would, I would swing wildly, and if I would happen to connect, I might hurt her, but I probably wouldn't connect, and she would probably lock up my ankle, and I would tap out even before it started hurting.
Well, I don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable, but there are differences between just doing jujitsu
Yeah.
or doing MMA, right? With the gloves
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
on the
talking about, the
padded
MMA,
ring.
yeah. That's what I'm talking
okay.
about.
And out in the parking lot where the trucks are, that
right.
kind of dangerous, you
Yeah.
know, but as you the reason it gets more scary down that path is we're getting closer to that primal.
Right.
This is like, I don't even know if you call it a fight, you know, when you get down to that level.
Sure. Right.
And
Right.
that's just,
I just, before we
that's a question where I don't,
you've been pretty evasive. Which is not like you.
well, I think all I'm saying is the further you get down to the end of that path, the more advantage a stronger person is going to be.
Okay.
And I'll take the Pepsi challenge with her on strength right now if
Okay.
you want, buddy.
Okay.
There's a real something to old man strength.
Okay.
And there's also something to like years and years of functional strength.
Sure.
You can tell like in
Right.
going against a guy or just, rolling, sparring. Some of these guys work like construction or
Sure.
those guys that have that. It's like the Thessalonians or whoever it was that they were the ships. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't want to mess with them. Those dudes that rode, they did that their whole life,
Yep.
you know?
So old man strength, functional strength. There's only
Yeah.
one kind of strength stronger than those two. Anyway.
Which is what?
No. I just, before we close off here, okay, I just wanted noted that you said you would have a 10% chance of beating a grizzly bear, but you did not say you could beat Ronda Rousey. So you have more of a chance of beating a grizzly bear
Maybe
than
I
Ronda
should
Rousey?
get involved with politics.
You're too careful with Ronda.
Well, what was the grizzly bear question? Like, I'm going to kill that fucker. I can't. Like, you see what I'm saying here, buddy?
Also,
I'm going to.
a fight to the death.
I'm
with
not
Ronda
even.
Rousey?
Blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking about that topic anymore. All right. It's just different going against an animal. I don't even like to watch and this sounds sexist too, but I don't like to watch the girls fight. I don't. It just makes me feel uncomfortable.
The women.
Yeah, just
they're
you
not
see
girls,
some
they're
girl
women.
and she's probably because I have daughters and she's got some hematoma on her
Yeah,
forehead,
yeah.
and she's got to go back out there. That
Yeah. I gotcha.
That twitches me a little bit.
I gotcha.
So anyway, that's all you get on the Ronda Rousey thing.
You should watch. Have you watched the new Bill Burr special?
I think the important thing to acknowledge is that Ronda Rousey will beat most dudes' asses, and did at a movie theater. Do you know this story?
I think
I'm probably messing it up, but it started with some girls sitting behind her, she was sitting behind them, and no, they were behind her. They kept putting their foot on
has
her
to be
chair.
your bull.
Kept putting her foot on her chair, and then she turned around at the end of the movie and took her boot off and chucked it and said, "You need to learn some manners."
Oh.
And her 2 friends who were also I can't remember. I think like a brown belt in judo, and
Okay.
so they're walking through the leaving a movie, that little part where they have the
Sure.
ropes, and the dudes that were with the girls, where she chucked her boot, come around and try to say, hey, you need to go get her boot or whatever, blah blah blah. And put it this way, those dudes sued Ronda after she
Really?
whooped their asses. So reality, buds.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
What I was saying is, if you haven't watched the new Bill Burr special at Red Rocks, he has
I did. I watched part of it with my mom and dad
But and you got
last
the
night.
part about where he's talking about hitting a female and all that stuff. Yeah, I thought that was. I
That's
thought
what
of
I'm
that while you're
saying
talking
too.
about
I'm
that.
Brent. Like I got pushed down. Sarah I'm just kidding. No. Yeah. You.
Okay.
I've never done the Sean Connery.
Sure.
Give her a little slap.
Sure.
If she deserved it.
Yeah.
None. Like.
Not the
and
old
so I'm bringing that
1950s
resentment with
backhand,
me.
you
Like
know.
I feel like I'm gonna get in there and go full on water boy. Like I just got pushed down.
You got
See,
smacked
you can't
by-
do that.
You got smacked by Sarah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I don't want to get smacked by Marta. Did you know that the only time I've ever seen her angry in 23 years that I've known her, she punched a hole in the bathroom door.
Sarah threw a shoe at me. That part's
She's gonna
true.
be so pissed when I said she
And
denies
put a hole
this.
in it. You know what? If you want to air out they're
Marta's a
going to
badass.
get on here. I know she is.
I'd say she's in the 1%.
I really think she'd enjoy jiu-jitsu. I mean, with her flexibility,
You just wanna trade her.
with her
Stop
flexibility and drive.
it. You're gonna offend my son
Let's
over
go.
here in just
All
a
right,
second.
all right.
We
You
should-
brought it up. So
I did. You took it too far. So because
Hello?
of that, yeah, you
Yeah?
can take that banana.
I can give him that message. Okay, bye.
yeah.
That was the universe telling you to go fuck yourself,
Yeah,
Joel.
you go fuck yourself
All
with
right.
that banana.